Hi, I'm Barbara Elder, one of the directors here with the Appoquinimink School District, and we are going to take a look on how to get a sound out and assemble the flute. When you get your instrument, the most important thing is wait till your first lesson to open up the case and to take all the parts out. Your teacher will go over everything with you. When you do get to your first lesson, your teacher will instruct you to put the case flat on the floor or on a flat surface. So for this purpose, I'm using a chair, so my case is flat on the chair. You want to make sure that the brand name of the instrument is facing up towards the ceiling, and that the side that the handle is attached to is towards the floor. So I'm going to put it on a flat surface, making sure that the name of the flute is on the top. Open the latch, and I should have 3 parts. I should have the head joint, and this is what we're going to start with in just one moment. You have the body, the longest part with most of the keys. And you, last but not least, you have the foot, which will go on at the end, at the bottom. We are going to start with the head joint first. At your first lesson, you will learn how to get a sound out of just the head joint. Once everyone is successful with that, then we go ahead and put the flute together and to learn our first 3 notes. So the head joint is comprised of the lip plate here and the tone hole. How the flute gets its sound is by blowing air across the tone hole. Make sure it goes across the tone hole. If it goes in, it's not going to get a sound. If you blow up, it's not going to get a sound. You're going to have to make sure that you're aiming your air across the tone hole. The lip plate has a fat section here and a skinny section here. You want to put the fat section on the curve of your chin. Pretty much where your skin and your lip meet should be right on the edge of that tone hole. The opening to the head joint should always be to your right. It doesn't matter if you're right-handed or left-handed, everybody plays it the same way. The opening to the head joint will be to your right. If you need help finding your spot, where your lips are shaped, how your embouchure is, to get a sound, a good trick is to close your lips flat. And when the line where your lips meet, put the lip plate flat against it and then roll it down like this. And roll it down. Now I'm going to make sure I blow my air straight across. If I blow my air into the flute, if I roll it in, I won't get a sound. If I roll it out too far, no sound. The air has to go directly across. That's the sound that you're looking for from the head joint. Once you get a sound out of the head joint, we're going to start with a technique called tonguing. Start by saying the word two, 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 two. And then after you have that and you know where your tongue hits in your mouth, take your voice out of it and just make the sound. The air, your tongue is used to stop and start the air. We want to work away from going. If you do this, that may cause you to be lightheaded or dizzy as if you're blowing up a balloon. So that's how you get a sound out of the head joint. This would be primarily your first lesson. Next lesson would be assembling the flute, where you take your head joint and you put it in to the body. At the top part where these 2 bindings and the name of the flute is up at the top. Some flutes do have 2 arrows that help line up the head joint with the body. Some do and some do not. If yours does, feel free to use that. If yours does not, you want to line up the tone hole with all of the keys. You have 2 sides to the body. You have the side with a lot of keys and you have a side with not a lot of keys. You want to line up the tone hole with the side with a lot of keys, making it a straight line. Next, you want to take your foot and gently twisting, put it on at the bottom, on the other opposite end of the head joint. Lining up the foot is a little bit different because our pinky plays these keys. So we want to make sure that this rod here, this rod is lined up with the keys on the body. if we have all the keys lined up and when we play, our pinky won't be able to hit those keys. So we want to make sure that the rod here is lined up in the middle of these keys. So when you look at your flute straight up and down, it should be tone hole, keys, and then you should run right into that rod. And your teacher will check this every lesson. How you hold the flute. We start our students, we mentioned recorder hold. You always have your left hand on top. Does not matter if you're right-handed or left-handed. Like I said, everybody plays it the same way. Left hand is on top, right hand is on bottom, and you flip it up so that the opening, the sound is going to be coming out to your right. You should not have your right hand on top and flip it this way. You know that's incorrect. You shouldn't have it like this or any other way. Left hand always belongs on top. Flip it up so it's to your right. Because of the number of keys on the flute, your teacher will put stickers on the keys that they want you to play. So without putting stickers on there, I'm just going to put my fingers on B flat, which is one of our first notes. Left hand is going to be on top, right hand's on the bottom. I'm going to flip it up. I'm going to find my spot by rolling in first, then rolling down. And of course, while I'm playing, using my tongue to start and stop the air. Taking the flute apart, gently twist, take the head joint out, lay it in the case, gently twist, take the foot out, and the body. Make sure everything is in there. If it's in there correctly when you close the case, it should be completely flat. Make sure that you latch both sides. Also, please make sure that your instrument has a name tag, a luggage, some kind of an identifying factor that separates it from others. In a lesson, we could have 6, 7, 8 flutes, all with black cases. So make sure that a name, some identification is on that case so we don't get them mixed up. Also, don't forget to write your name in your book because everyone's going to have the same book as well. And that's how you get started with the flute.